All right, let's get this walk and talk going. As Amari Cooper heading out of AT&T Stadium, where the Cowboys have just demolished the Washington football team. They knocked the football team out of Washington 56-14. Where do you start? I mean, there's a lot of haven't happened since out of this game, and quite frankly, out of the season. Trayvon Diggs hit an interception. I believe it was the first play for the football team in this game where they took a shot on Diggs down the field, and he intercepted it for his 11th pick of the season. That ties a single season record for the Cowboys. Everson Walls set that record in 1981. He was in the building tonight when Trayvon Diggs had that 11th interception. You had Dak Prescott throwing a touchdown pass to a running back, wide receiver, offensive lineman, and tight end, first time in NFL history. That's happened in a game because he threw a touchdown pass to Terrence Steele. You had Micah Parsons with his 13th sack, now one shy of Aldon Smith, who had 14 as a rookie, and then the record, Javon Curse, 14 and a half in 1999, so just a 1.5 off of that. Just an incredible performance, offensively, defensively, and special teams. Cowboys thoroughly and utterly dominated the football team in all three phases of this game. And that's why you win 56-14. It's the first, by the way, also, first time Cowboys have scored 50 in a game since the 1993 Super Bowl when they beat the Buffalo Bills 52-14 and won Super Bowl 27. Have not scored 50 in a game since then. And look, and again, it's an all-out team effort. You know, that's what happens when you win by this way. And I think we were looking for, like, what are the signs for this offense to being returning to form? And, I think Brad Sham said it pretty well in the postgame show that, like, this offense that was unbelievable at the beginning of the season didn't have the defense that it has now. And so you don't need your offense to score 56 points. You don't need them to score 46 points. You won't even need them to score 36 points, right? Maybe in some games you will. But for the most part, this defense is good enough to where this offense doesn't need to do everything. And I think that's a huge change that we didn't know would ever take shape this season because of how bad the defense was last year. And, and so it's just a clear improvement defensively. And so now it's like, well, okay, so how good does this offense need to be now? And again, it doesn't need to be as good as it was earlier in the season. That's certainly the case. But I think what we saw tonight was this offense can return to form. And look, we saw some of the signs of it last week. And this week it was running crisp routes. It was CeeDee Lamb, clearly being frustrated that people said that, last week he's dropping passes, and he admitted it himself. He's dropping passes, right? So there's a clear frustration on his end. You could tell that concerted effort by CeeDee Lamb early in this game to get involved, stay involved kind of thing. And then, I just think Dak was more decisive. He was more comfortable. He ran the ball, which we've been calling for, but hadn't seen much really at all this season. But going upfield and taking your shots when you've got them, again, not something that we have seen Dak Prescott really do, much this season at all. So for him to do that in this game is a huge, huge boost. And then, Amari Cooper talked about, the team getting back to playing with its fastball, and that being that hurry up, fastball being their hurry up offense where they're so effective out of it. On the one hand, you can't get the defense time to match up with you. And so, but it takes a knowledge and understanding from the offense. Amari Cooper explained this. That's not just a throwaway in terms of it's just not that easy to run it because you need to have guys that understand where they need to be in a given situation. And for receiver, it could be a bunch of different things. And so, I think that was a well-stated fact by Cooper. It's like, yeah, the fastball worked tonight, but it's not like we'll just go to it at any point. There are reasons and ways in which you can go for it at certain times and others that you can't. And so I thought the Cowboys obviously were able to go with their fastball a ton tonight. And that's, something to look forward for in some of these other games is their ability to play with that hurry up and that tempo. But I think the reality of the situation is now for this Cowboys team, expectations have changed dramatically since the start of the year. Not in terms of expectations of what this team could be, but rather expectations in terms of what this team could be based on what they have. Meaning, I think we thought this offense was going to be explosive. It was up to the defense to not be horrible. And now we've learned this defense is elite. And now it's figuring out what this offense is going to look like on a more consistent basis. It's not going to be a 56-point offense every night. But we'll see when they can win, when they're, keep becoming comfortable being uncomfortable. All right, I'm Ari Temkin in front of AT&T Stadium as the Cowboys win again in the early morning hours here on a Monday. Now the Cowboys have their sights set on the number 1 seed, and we'll learn over the next 2 weeks, 2 games, if they're able to do that. If not, the 2 seed, and we'll see as they've now 11-4 on the season. For the latest on the Cowboys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the thumbs up here on this video, and appreciate you all checking this out. I'm out. Peace.